Welcome back to New York Rangers hockey. The Rangers Tri-State Challenge is brought to you by BMW. The Audi goaltending matchup, Jonathan Quick makes his second preseason appearance for the New York Rangers in his 18th National Hockey League season. At the other end, David Rittich, who spent last season with Jonathan Quick's longtime club, the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah, Rittich, a big body, explosive guy in the net, veteran presence, and away we go, Kenny.
Rangers start with Perreault, Miller, and Zibanejad. Fox and Carson Soucy on defense. Islanders start their top line, Ritchie, Heineman, and Palmieri, with Pelech and Pulock. Here's JT Miller, drops it back, Zibanejad out for a shot by Soucy, and that's sticked aside by Rittich. Ritchie over to play the puck for the Islanders. Now Heineman controls, sends it back to Adam Pelech. And now Ritchie, former first-round draft pick by Colorado, came over in the Brock Nelson deal. Islanders with a new defense pairing on the ice as the Rangers go for a change as well. Just underway from Madison Square Garden. Rangers with a win and an overtime loss over their first two games. Here's Adam Boqvist, has his shot blocked. Matthew Robertson getting in front of it. And now Robertson plays the puck. Here's Alexis Lafreniere, flips in deep. Robertson in pursuit. Brennan Hoffman working along the boards. Boqvist comes away with the puck for the Islanders. Pageau and Will Borgen come together, and the puck deflects out of play.
Well, Mike Sullivan looks at his club here early in their third exhibition game. Continues to urge them to. Vinny Trocheck with a good solid hit on Holmstrom, one of the top players. We'll see Holmstrom in the regular season. Took a puck in the nose the second day of training camp and is wearing that full shield. Another one is elevated to that official leadership position in this hockey club. I thought last year when the team begged for leadership, Vincent Trocheck assumed that position. Face off here to the left of David Rittich.
Noah Laba with Connor Sherry and Brett Berard, the Rangers' third line tonight. Puck set up the left side by Sean Day, a former Rangers draft pick, wearing number 47 for the Islanders. Day and Laba come together. Berard along the wall. Sherry there as well. Chris Terry works the puck back around onto the stick of Day. Kept in the zone by Laba. Rangers leading scorer with 3 points over the first two preseason games. Had 2 assists against the Bruins on Tuesday. Eric Pouliot, veteran of 7 NHL teams, number 51 for the Rangers. Here's Dylan Rubrick, along with Rempe and Edstrom. That big fourth line we talked about during our open. 2 players 6'7", the other Rempe 6'9". Puck now played by Adam Fox deep in the Ranger zone. Just over 2 minutes gone by. First period from Madison Square Garden. Soucy deflected in. Rubrick took a high stick from Boqvist. Play continues, and the Islanders move the puck back into the Ranger zone. Robertson is on it there. Takes the return from Fox as both teams make changes. Puck deflected off the stick of Gabe Perreault, who has scored in each of the first 2 games. Now Palmieri moves the puck back ahead on the left for Heineman. Heineman 10 goals with Montreal last season. Originally a Florida Panthers draft pick. Heineman stripped of the puck. JT Miller up the boards and down. The Rangers have iced it just over 3 minutes in.
Two-time Cup winner with the Pittsburgh Penguins on a PTO here with his former coach Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan told us earlier today that he's like a dog on a bone around the puck, right? So he's not big man, but he certainly gets there in a hurry, and he does have some really good offensive upside. Had a good year in one of their Stanley Cup runs, Kenny, scoring over 20, playing with Sid Crosby, right?
He won the Cup in each of his first 2 NHL seasons, playing for Mike Sullivan. He was the #1 star in the Rangers win over the Devils on Sunday. in the preseason opener. Pelech with a shot, sticked aside by Quick. Rangers move the puck ahead. And now Pulock looking for it in his skates. Zibanejad in on the forecheck. Now Perreault able to get a stick on the puck. Holmstrom up the boards. Deflected out by Pajot. And now Trocheck for Othmann. Othmann with some room. Shoots and a save by Riddick. Puck comes back around to Vinny Trocheck. Now Lafreniere. Saved by Riddick. Knocked it down and covers. On that attempt by Scott Morrow.
Yeah, Scott Morrow really makes a nice little play here in the middle of the ice to Trocheck, and that allows the Rangers to turn up ice, right? Pelech looks like he loses a bit of a Michelin on the left side. Othmann throws the puck to the net. Now Othmann has to kind of continue to keep it simple, Kenny. Not try to overcomplicate things. You get a chance. Scott Morrow, again, one of these young guys that just continues to hang around with his good play.
There's Othmann. Othmann along with Morrow, Laba, and Perreault. The four Rangers who have now played in each of the first 3 games.
Yeah, they are certainly, again, getting themselves a chance to hang around.
There's Soucy from long range off the stick of Riddick. Puck moved up the boards by Travis Mitchell. Chris Terry hits the ice. Fox flips it back around. Sean Day chasing along with Carson Soucy. Puck now sent back around by Highmore. Played for Ottawa last season. And now Soucy chasing. Quick will come out. Both teams make changes. Brett Berard circles back. Carson Soucy. Puck deflected along by Rubrick. Shot deflected wide by Rubrick. Setting up in front of the Islanders' net. Puck blocked off at center. And now Maggio will send it back. Fired in by Boquist. Rubrick with it once again for the Rangers. Rangers have 4 shots. Islanders just 1 as Robertson wrists the puck around. Islanders looking for their first victory. Record of 0-1-1. Lost to the Flyers in an 11-round shootout 3-2, and then lost to the Devils 6-2 on Tuesday night. Islanders move the puck down. Ritchie leaves it behind the net for Palmieri, defended by Zibanejad. Now Morrow plays the puck for the Rangers to Perreault. Up the boards. JT Miller and Pulock come together. Zibanejad sends it back around to the left point. Pouliot back behind the net. Now Zibanejad with it once again for Perreault. Out to Pouliot, long shot blocked in front. Here's Ritchie back into the Ranger zone. Good play by Pouliot. Unable to clear. And now a save by Quick. On Holmstrom, he covers. Just over. Matt Rempe on the left, Adam Edstrom on the right. We talked to Rempe this morning. He was so excited. Edstrom, his good buddy. They have not played together in a game since February 1st when Edstrom suffered an injury in Boston. Rempe told us we're going to be smiling out there all night long.
Well, you got to smile here when you see Rempe go in hard, but the key is to make a play off your physical play. You know, it's one thing to go in there hard and try to eliminate the man, but he uses his size and strength. And then the reach, right? We see the reach here. He gets a lot closer than he should get by using his reach. A lot of sound, fundamental things in Matt Rempe's game.
Lafreniere lost the puck. Pajot and Lafreniere come together. Puck flipped ahead by Boquist, kept alive by the Rangers, and a save made on Othmann by Riddick. Othmann battling for the puck with Pajot. Lafreniere there as well. Out to Soucy. And now Adam Fox. Othmann past the stick of Fox. Trocheck and Boquist coming together. McLean moves the puck ahead for Pajot. And now it's Holmstrom. Held up by Soucy. As both teams make player changes. Nearly 7 minutes gone in this first period. Shots are 5-2 Rangers. We have no score. Noah Lava through center. Mitchell back on it for the Islanders. Jeffries. Puck sent into the right of Jonathan Quick. Lava with it once again for the Rangers.
Really good patience with the puck by the youngster. Doesn't throw it away, makes a good outlet pass.
Big hit in the corner by Berard. The defenseman Mitchell. And our first penalty will be assessed here.
Yeah, I think it's going. 2 minutes.
It's Berard for that hit on Mitchell in the corner. Back in the Islanders' zone.
Well, in the eyes of some, this is just physical hockey. In the eyes of the guys that matter, is the boarding call, right? Now, again, Mitchell clearly has his back to the oncoming forward. So Brett Berard's going to go in hard, but when he sees the numbers, which is really easy to say when you look at it the third time and slow it down, but you do have to have that in the back of your mind, right? In today's game, you have to have the sense that perhaps the guy you're chasing is too vulnerable. First power play belongs to the New York Islanders.
Berard in the box for boarding. Islanders send out Ritchie with Heineman, Palmieri, Holmstrom, 4 forwards, and Boquist. Rangers scored a shorthanded goal on Tuesday night. Also allowed one as Holmstrom retrieves the puck. Trocheck in on the forecheck. Trocheck and Laba. The Rangers forwards on the penalty kill. Here comes Heineman. Heineman, cross-ice pass. Holmstrom met by Morrow. Trocheck flips the puck back around for Laba. Heineman forces Laba off the puck. Boquist with it, and a great stick by Trocheck. Riddick comes way out, and then lost the puck, but Trocheck went sliding into the boards.
Riddick with a little bit of a Dennis Savard spinorama there, and it blew out the wheel of Trocheck.
Now Ritchie with it, out to Boquist. Shot off the post. Ritchie couldn't play the puck. JT Miller down the right side. Boquist back. Is joined by Sherry. Missed the net. Short-handed opportunity for the Rangers. JT Miller setting up Connor Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry, I think just not quite enough on the puck. I think he was a little surprised that it actually got through.
Islanders with 45 seconds remaining on the power play as Pajot moves the puck around for Terry. Chris Terry has not played in the NHL since the 16-17 season. Now Pollock across. This is Jeffries. Now Pollock with it. Pollock, wrist shot through a screen, and then Morrow comes away with the loose puck. Can't clear. Pollock with 15 seconds remaining on the Islanders' power play. Here's Jeffries. Islanders work it back out for Terry. And now Pollock with a shot. It's blocked. Pollock with it once again. Terry fires wide. Penalty expires. Berard makes his return. Those shots on the power play got through to Quick, and the Rangers had a great chance while shorthanded. Here's Berard cutting wide. Puck chipped out of the zone by the Islanders' Cameron Berg as we approach the midway point of period 1 from the Garden. Now Pelech flips it back down. Fox with the puck for the Rangers. Now Lafreniere. Back out for Soucy, a shot. Riddick hangs onto it as Hoffman gets the stick up.
Yeah, Brennan Hoffman going hard to the net. Raises the ire of George the defender. A little scrum. Let's take a look at Vinny Trocheck getting kind of beat on a one-on-one situation, tracking down the puck by the goaltender. Good job at the blue line with the stick. Now watch. Whoops. Around the and whoops. Now we got head up. JT Miller slides it through, and just a bit of a last-minute stab, a last-second stab at the puck. And Connor Sherry, and he really couldn't do much else with that puck, with where he got it. as opposed to the release. Face off to the right of the Islander netminder.
Miller, Perreault, Zibanejad on the ice for the Rangers with Soucy and Fox. Here's Palmieri towards the net. Knocked down by Quick. Puck sent back around to Pulock. Now Kyle Palmieri, the Long Island native. Puck comes out of the zone. Delayed offside. Rangers clear. Palmieri intercepts. Palmieri keeps it away from Zibanejad. Back out to the point for Pelech. Pulock spinning. Here's Pelech. Ritchie carries behind the Ranger goal. Defended by Carson Soucy. Out to Pelech at the right point. Sends the puck back around. JT Miller on it for the Rangers. Kyle McLean comes over. And now Fox for Soucy. As we approach 9 minutes on the clock. First period from the Garden. Islanders keep it alive. Pajot. Now Holmstrom had it taken away by Gabe Perreault. End of a long shift. Dumps it in and then heads for a line change.
Yeah, nice job by Perreault. Really smart play. Just softly get it out. Get yourself off. And you get fresh troops on from the Rangers standpoint.
Puck set in by number 67 of the Islanders, Gleb Beremyev, a New Jersey native. He and Noah Laba, Dave, have been teammates for the last 5 seasons.
Right.
2 years with Lincoln of the U.S. Hockey League, and then 3 years at Colorado College.
And they're both New Jersey boys, right?
One-time line mates. Robertson slides the puck across. Here's Rempe behind the net. Laba's a Michigan native.
Oh, okay.
Beremyev grew up in New Jersey. But they know each other very well. Here's Will Borgen for the Rangers. Shots are 5-3. Favor of the Rangers. Just under 8 to play. First period. Good hard work along the boards by Laba once again. Puck sent back around by Pouliot. Now Boqvist with it. Highmore able to clear. Terry had it knocked away by Pouliot. And now it's played at center by Highmore. Derek Pouliot, his name's on the Stanley Cup. Played in a couple of playoff games with the Penguins back in 2016. Played for Mike Sullivan and Wilkes-Barre in the American Hockey League. Getting an opportunity with the Rangers here tonight. Now Palmieri with Heineman. They stay on side. And Palmieri's shot swallowed up by Carson Soucy. Lafreniere quickly through center. Lafreniere, pass picked off. He was looking for Soucy, and the Islanders clear.
Yeah, nice play just inside the blue line by Lafreniere. Darts to the middle of the ice, looking for the late. The puck probably should have been advanced, and in the meantime, we play on.
George on the puck now for the Islanders. Bottled up by Zibanejad. Pajot over to help out. Taken away by JT Miller. Looking for Perreault in front. Now Robertson. Back out to the point. Will Borgen with a shot deflected wide. JT Miller getting a stick on it. Now George keeps it away from Perreault. Here's Pajot. Into the left of Quick. Robertson and McLean. And the Rangers come away with the puck. Rempe lost it. Shot blocked by Perreault. And the Rangers move it ahead. Rubrick. It's an icing. Faceoff will come back into the Rangers' end. It's Patrick Roy, the Hall of Famer, behind the Islanders bench. Lou Lamoriello no longer the general manager, replaced by Matthew Darche, but he kept the head coach.
Yeah, he sure did. And it sounds like, it's a regime change, there's no question. With the Islanders, identity change, a field change, and I think we're going to see more beards on Long Island than we've seen there in a while. In the meantime, Patrick Roy, well, you talk about a competitor and a winner and all those things. You can look up Patrick Roy.
We saw some facial hair on Patrick behind the Islanders bench.
Yeah.
First overall draft pick, Matthew Schaefer not in the lineup. They score! It's the New Jersey native, Varemyev, beating Quick, and the Islanders lead 1-0.
Well, Varemyev just gets a stick in the right spot. This is a pretty innocent-looking play coming out of the corner. But what? Again, we'll pay attention to where Varemyev, the puck finds the stick is basically what happened. Now, again, Morrow is there. He's there. Varemyev asks for the puck, and that one just squeaks its way through. You know, you just throw the puck to the front, go to the net, and the Islanders have a 1-0 lead here in the first period.
We mentioned he was teammates with Noah Laba for the last 5 seasons from Monroe Township, New Jersey. Played for Monroe Township High School, and then with the New Jersey Rockets, getting a chance with the Islanders. Save made by Quick on Jeffries. Alex Jeffries out of Merrimack College. Now Bullock shot. That deflection front. Kept alive by the Islanders. They score. Terry makes it 2-0.
Well, the Rangers are victimized by Quick back-to-back goals here after, by and large, controlling a lot of the play. And a guy who hasn't been around in a while, Chris Terry, is going to get himself on the scoreboard here. Islanders just get the puck in offensive zone. I look at the traffic in front. Quick gets in a position, can't quite control the puck, right? But again, there's a puck that bounce around. At some point, you hope your goaltender would stop the madness. But the puck bounces off of Quick's left leg and squeaks through Jonathan Quick, and bang, bang, the Islanders have a 2-0 lead here, Kenny.
2 goals, 23 seconds apart. First for Varemyev, and now the 36-year-old Terry.
The Islanders' first goal.
The last 8 years, he's been out of the NHL. 7 seasons in the American Hockey League and played in the KHL in Russia 1 season. So the Islanders take a 2-0 lead, and now the Rangers come back. Adam Fox with a wrist shot from long range cuts the Islanders' lead to 2-1.
Lafreniere makes a nifty little move here just inside the blue line. He draws 2 defenders to him and feathers the puck back to the right point. And Adam Fox is certainly not going to overpower the goaltender with a shot, but it gets to the back of the net. And we'll take a look here. Enters the offensive zone is Lafreniere, right? It's just a neat little pass there, slides it through, and now there's traffic on top of the net. Right. I think Vinny Trocheck may touch this, Kenny. Comes through, yeah, little tap, and the Rangers give up 2 quickly, but get 1 back quickly, and it's a 1-goal game again.
So the 3 goals scored in a span of 39 seconds. The Rangers answered 16 seconds after the Terry goal. Down to 4.5 remaining in period 1. Certainly appeared as if Vinny Trocheck got a piece of it. Reppy moves the puck in deep. Riddick has some trouble behind the net, and then the puck is knocked to the boards. Good defensive play by Berg, and now Borgen with it for the Rangers. Matthew Robertson back in his own zone. We've seen goals, Dave, on the last 3 shots. And now a penalty.
This is going to be a slash.
And this one will go against the Islanders. Rangers power play when we return. Vinny Trocheck credited with the Rangers goal moments ago. Rangers go to the power play. Don't miss your chance for early access to ticket opportunities and special offers. Register for the Rangers Fan First program by scanning the QR code or visiting NewYorkrangers.com/fanfirst.
And this is a slash, folks, right on the stick by Berg on the forecheck. The Rangers get a power play opportunity here to get this thing back on an even keel. Throw check in the middle, and away we go, Kenny.
Yes, Dave agrees with the penalty call, folks. Rangers work it down low for Miller. Back out to the point, Fox winds, fires. With Miller setting up in front. Now Trocheck. Ika Zibanejad. Trocheck. Back up, Zibanejad. Down low, Trocheck. Riddick got a piece of it, and it's cleared by Holmstrom.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Vinny Trocheck was just in a little awkward position. That puck came right back to him. And the Islanders jump on it, out it goes.
Here's Lafreniere into the Islanders zone. JT Miller. Now Adam Fox. Fox was followed up by Ritchie. Now Zibanejad, just over a minute to go on the power play. Give and go. Trocheck stopped by Riddick. Puck is loose, and he covers. Nice play down low. Trocheck and Lafreniere.
Yeah, good give and go. It's another good chance set up by a nifty little pass from Lafreniere. I got it, you got it. Goes off of Trocheck's left skate, so that puck's fluttering around a little bit. He didn't get quite enough kind of volume on his shot, but it does force Riddick to be a penalty killer. Ranger power play looks pretty good here early.
Rangers send out Matt Rempe,
right?
Connor Sherry, Brennan Othman, Gabe Perreault, and Scott Morrow. We saw Rempe working on the power play in front of the net this morning at practice. Down to a minute remaining on the penalty. Rempe with a couple of chances in front. Sherry works it back out. This is Morrow. Morrow scored a goal in the preseason opener in Jersey. Othman scores! Brennan Othman with a power play goal. The Rangers tie the game at 2.
This is really set up with a wonderfully patient puck possession by Morrow. He's going to get the puck eventually here. Holmes onto it, has no place to go. Lanes are all covered, walks it down, and this thing, folks, is snapped. Short side. Now you've got 6'7", the leaning tower of Rempe. And there you go, folks. Talk about net front presence. A great play all the way around. You see Morrow just doesn't see anything. The Islanders take away the middle of the ice. He opens up the ice. Big guy in front. Power play goals 2-2.
So the Islanders scored 2 goals in a span of 23 seconds. Rangers have come back and now take the lead as Berard scores. Just 12 seconds after the Othman goal, Brett Berard makes it 3-2 Rangers.
We have referenced early in this hockey game, the Rangers want to be hard on the puck. And we want to watch Connor Sherry hard on the puck. Little play, bang, bang. Quick puck movement, quick to the puck, quick puck movement, get in the spot. What a great play from behind. Lava once again. This is just a wonderful play all the way around. It's a hockey play, Kenny. Now you get in on the puck, you move the puck, you make a nifty little pass, and somebody's at the side of the net. 3-2 Rangers.
Rangers score 3 goals in 2 minutes, 31 seconds, and take the lead. After the Islanders scored 2 quick ones. Wild second half of this first period from the Garden. Here's Rubrick, led the Hartford Wolfpack with 20 goals last season. Rempe looking for it. Edstrom is there. Puck is loose. Back out it comes to Soucy. He shoots. And now Berg comes away with the loose puck for the Islanders.
Boy, I'll tell you, when those 3 guys go to the net, oh my goodness gracious. Woo!
Not easy for the goaltender to see the puck
and Riddick's
whatsoever.
Riddick's a big man.
Wow. Right, Riddick is 6'4" himself. Ritchie controls the puck here for the Islanders. Zibanejad comes over, flips it back down. Minute 20 on the clock, first period. Rangers 3, Islanders 2. Here's Pollock past Ritchie. Ritchie with it now. Palmieri unable to connect with Heineman. Isaiah George for the Islanders. Up the boards and down. Morrow in pursuit. Final minute, first period. Rangers with goals from Trocheck, Othman, and Berard. Leading the Islanders 3-2. Pajot stripped. Good back check, Dave, by Lafreniere.
Lafreniere's been active here. Lafreniere spent a really good summer in the conditioning and looks just that much stronger. He's going to be an important player for this thing to continue to advance.
There's Boqvist, 25 seconds to go. McLean back out to Boqvist. Boqvist with a shot through a screen, quick to save. Morrow for Othman, backhands down. Rangers change with time winding down in this first period.
And there might be
too many men, perhaps?
It looks like it may be too many men on the ice. I thought that's the signal that the official was. Okay. Sounds like
Puck may have deflected into the bench area.
Thought he was given that kind of fingered circle. Too many men? Not so.
Center ice face-off. 13 6/10 seconds remaining. Rangers control the draw. Puck deflected in by Laba. Mitchell back on it for the Islanders. Down to 3 seconds. And that will do it. So the Islanders scored the first two. Rangers come back with the last three. Berard put them ahead.
Well, you know, a couple seeing eye kind of pucks beat Jonathan Quick, but the Rangers do a good job. To me, they were clearly the better team in the period, and really they should be with the veteran lineup they had. So you got a 1-goal lead after 20 minutes.
Stay tuned for the first intermission report brought to you by your local Honda dealers. John Giannone will chat with Will Borgen. A look at the new captain, JT Miller, and the former captain, Dave, with his analysis. Islanders scored 2 in 23 seconds. Rangers 3 in 2:31. Rangers lead by a goal after 20 minutes. Welcome back to New York Rangers hockey from Madison Square Garden as we get set for the second period with the Rangers leading the Islanders 3-2. Rangers scoring 3 goals in the span of 2 minutes, 31 seconds. Rangers Tri-State Challenge is brought to you by BMW. A sweater 100 years in the making. Be the first to wear a piece of blue shirt history and pre-order the Centennial jersey by scanning the QR code or heading to shop.msg.com/Rangers.
Pretty slick looking jersey, right? Nice to see the captain back, and Mark Messier, and the present captain, JT Miller. It's interesting to listen to JT talk about his evolution as a person, as a player, as a participant in the NHL, as a father. You know, a lot of changes. It's his first days on Broadway, and away we go, Kenny.
Wearing the captain's C. Miller starts this second period with Perreault and Zibanejad. Islanders work the puck back out for Pelech. Shot missed the net. Palmieri with it. Hit by Soucy. Islanders keep it alive. This is Ritchie leaving it for Palmieri. Back out for Pollock, and then a shot by Ritchie. Sticked aside by Quick. Good opening shift to the second period by the Islanders. Pollock with it again. Blocked by Soucy, who does not have a stick. Now JT Miller settles things down. Adam Fox starts ahead with it. Fox from the red line shoots in. Puck did not get deep. Kept alive by Perreault. Rangers have made a partial change. Trocheck and Lafreniere on the ice. Here comes Othman as Perreault heads off to the bench. Now McLean for the Islanders. Back around for George. Lafreniere keeps it alive. Out to the point for Will Borgen. He shoots. Saved by Riddick. Puck is loose. And George jumps on it for the Islanders. Up the boards and out. Just underway, second period for Madison Square Garden. Islanders scored the first two. Rangers the next three. Puck deflected in by Hoffman. Lava in on the forecheck. Here's Pajot for the Islanders. Flips it in around Morrow. Pouliot back to play it for the Rangers. Now Scott Morrow. Noah Lava. Sherry dropping it back out for a shot by Berard, and that's turned aside by Riddick. Dave, you talked about a couple of those highlights. Sherry heavily involved in 2 of the 3 Rangers goals in period 1.
Yeah, very much so.
Hand pass stops play.
We talked about Lafreniere just physical and just playing a little bit stronger here. And it's early, right? On top of the play, physical play. And the key is, can you make a play with the puck? Are you in a position, do you have the vision to do that? And Lafreniere builds a play, right? He builds a play. He goes in hard, stays with it, makes a play, and the Rangers get an opportunity.
Here's Highmore for the Islanders. Sends the puck around for Terry, who scored the second Islander goal. Lava moves it ahead for Berard. And now Morrow sends it into the Islander zone. We chatted with Morrow this morning, Dave, and he was telling us about what an influence some of the veteran defensemen in Carolina were during his time there, and specifically he named Brent Burns and Jacob Slavin.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, that's a pretty good place to start. 2 quality NHL players.
Now Adam Fox knocks the puck out of the air for the Rangers.
You know, I still got a sense that he can't believe that he played in all 5 games in the Stanley Cup.
Eastern Conference Final, right?
Like when you asked him, his face lit right up.
For Carolina against Florida. Now Rempe controls for the Rangers. Held up by George. Rubrick back out to the left point for Soucy. And now Fox with a shot. That's deflected on the way in by Rubrick. Or excuse me, by Edstrom. Rubrick with the puck here. This huge fourth line of the Rangers. Good work down low. Puck kept alive. It's Rempe. Rempe tried to cut to the middle. Puck knocked off his stick. And now Maggio for the Islanders works it on back. Here comes Berg. Maggio backhand shot. That's blocked by the stick of Fox. JT Miller with it now for the Rangers. Miller through the neutral zone. Perreault chasing after the puck. Back behind the net. Deflected away from Zibanejad. Here's Pelech for the Islanders. Ritchie along the boards. Heineman came in with a hit on JT Miller. And now Miller reversing it back for Robertson. Pelech all over Perreault, who finally clears the puck out. Heineman back with it. Shots are 17-8 in favor of the Rangers. They lead 3-2. After falling behind 2-0. Will Borgen up the boards and down. Bullock for Heineman. Heineman's already been traded 3 times, Dave. He's 23 years of age, drafted by Florida, went to Calgary in the Sam Bennett deal, then to Montreal in the Tyler Toffoli deal, and finally to the Islanders for Noah Dobson.
I tell you, he's involved in trades. Pretty good players.
Right. Now Morrow shoots that one wide. Holmstrom and Pouliot come together. Holmstrom moves the puck up the boards. Knocked down by Pouliot into the Rangers bench. We've been talking about that fourth line and all their size, Dave. You might be able to give the Knicks a run for their money when you add in a couple of defensemen in Borgen and Soucy. The expected starting 5 for the Knicks. You have a 7-footer in Karl-Anthony Towns, but only one other player at least 6'7". The Rangers have 3 6'7" or taller.
So the question is, who would win if they played hockey or if they played basketball? I think it's fairly obvious, right? both sides. I think the Rangers would have a better shot being competitive in basketball than the Hoopsters would off their feet.
Imagine Karl Anthony Towns on skates. He'd be about 7'3".
Hello up there.
Here comes Lava for Berard. His pass broken up. Good work down low by Sherry once again. Here's Berard. Back out to the point. Scott Morrow towards the net, and it's gloved by Riddick.
You know, we segue from 6-7ville, and let's go to the other end of the equation here. And this is Brett Berard. Again, hard on the puck, right? Finishes his check. The puck's going to come back around. And now, you know, Lava's in the middle. Sherry's going to make a play on the puck. Just really persistent puck pursuit by the two ends of the height spectrum in this Ranger lineup.
Berard listed at 5'9", Sherry at 5'8", but they compete like they're 6'7".
Absolutely. So you go to the NBA, and now you might go like the circus guys.
Rangers have their big line back on the ice with Rempe, Edstrom, and Rubrick. Rubrick winds the puck around. Rubrick and the Islanders, Callum Ritchie, were teammates in junior hockey. They were the top two scorers for the Oshawa Generals a couple of seasons ago. Rangers with goals from Trocheck, Othman, and Berard. Leading the Islanders 3-2. Zibanejad met by Sean Day. Ritchie plays the puck back around for Mitchell. Up the boards and out. Borgen kept it away from Heineman. Now Perreault dropping it back. Zibanejad, his stick was lifted from behind by Ritchie. Now Ritchie and Zibanejad. Pass out to the point. Intended for Robertson, broken up. Flipped ahead for Heineman. Heineman with Ritchie 2-on-2, and Borgen got the stick on it, blocked the shot, and it winds up out of play. Second period from the Garden. Rangers lead by. Rangers with a 3-2 lead. Let's check in with John Giannone. John.
Yeah, Kenny and Dave, we've talked a lot in the recent years about the use of a tablet on the bench in the NHL for instant feedback or coaching or strategy, or for Chris Kreider to use as a frisbee. But what I've noticed in these first few preseason games is how much the Rangers use the tablet, especially assistant coach Ty Hennes. And this is he and Joe Sacco here on the Rangers bench. And throughout this game, Ty Hennes has queued up plays and gone to different players and used it as a teaching tool in-game, especially with the younger players. It's certainly been guys like Edstrom and Brendan Othman before he scored his goal. It's really being employed a lot more, I think, that I've seen in these first two games than the previous Ranger coaching staff did.
Thanks, John. Ty Hennes with the Pittsburgh Penguins staff the last 7 years, working with Mike Sullivan. And among his duties, stat tracking and video analysis, and heavily involved with the tablet on the bench, as John just mentioned. Here's Ritchie for Heineman. Puck wide of the net, then Quick got a stick on it. By the way, folks, Dave does not have a tablet. Lost it in the ocean this summer.
My tablet is at the bottom of the Saronic Gulf in the Greek Islands.
There you go.
There you go. And people who've been around me for a while are not surprised.
Well, as soon as you told me you lost it, I said, where? Which broadcast booth? Which hotel?
Right.
Did not expect the answer that I heard. Here's Kyle McLean, although I probably should not have been surprised. Here's Holmstrom. Islanders control, trailing the Rangers 3-2. Boquist. Now Pajot. Zibanejad stepped in front of him. Puck played by Pajot. Perhaps the Rangers have an extra one on the bench that they can loan you.
Yeah, exactly. Although it looks like they're getting good use, according to John, out on the sideline.
Shot by Mitchell. Turned aside by Quick. Pajot with the puck. Moves it in deep for McLean, son of the former Ranger and longtime double John McLean, who was an Islanders assistant coach last season. Oh, that shot missed the net off the beautiful setup. And a great opportunity for Holmstrom. Puck at center, Berard fires it back down. 11 minutes remaining. Second period from the Garden. Rangers with a 3-2 lead. Here's Sherry off the feed from Lava. Nice pass out to Fox. And his shot did not get through. Sherry with it. Shoots. Puck loose in front. Lava hits the ice. And the Islanders clear the puck out.
Boy, Lava continues to impress. He is around the puck a lot when he's on the ice. There we go.
Puck sent over the glass in the defensive zone. Rangers heading to the power play.
Well, the Islanders enjoy a little bit of offensive presence here, and Holmstrom, who's coming along nicely as a player, back lowers the boom and creates the opportunity and then gets the chance out of the original physical play that he initiated. I think this guy last season took the step, that next step. We talk about Lafreniere, hopefully Braden Schneider, Will Cooley. You get to a certain point in your career being a top pick. Can you take the next step? I think this guy has in Holmstrom. Strong, nose for the puck, Ranger power play.
They are 1 for 1 tonight. Jeffries in the box, delay of game as Fox sets things up. Now Lafreniere with it, shoots, and the save by Riddick.
Yeah, Riddick, squeezes that right side, right? That's just up about just above the right hip. Adam Fox being patient. Adam Fox finds Lafreniere, and Riddick makes the save. We talked about Lafreniere, had a little word with him a couple of days ago, and he really did. He changed his summertime routine. First couple of summers, the summertime included an awful lot of men's softball. And I think he kind of came to the conclusion that he might have to pick it up a notch. And the Rangers need him to be the player that he wants to be, and then the franchise needs him to be.
Lafreniere out for this power play with Zibanejad, Miller, Trocheck, and Fox. Puck flipped around by Lafreniere. JT Miller along the boards, knocked to the ice by Holmstrom, who takes the puck away. Exactly 10 minutes remaining. Second period. 1:20 to go on this man advantage for the Rangers. Trocheck carries across. Now Lafreniere with it. Lafreniere sending it back out for Zibanejad. For Miller, poked off his stick. Zibanejad once again. Now Trocheck, Miller, score! The captain, JT Miller, with a power play goal. It's now 4-2 Rangers.
Rangers do a nice job, and no surprise. You've got veteran presence out there, so don't panic with the puck. And move it around nicely to the outside. It looks like the Islanders are going to clear the deck a little bit here. Down on one knee, a la Marty St. Louis. There's JT Miller. Right out into the wheelhouse of, again, I think Vinny Trocheck is going to be as important to JT Miller's captain's role as anybody in the hockey club. They are great pals. As Coach Mike Sullivan talks to Lafreniere on the bench. Trocheck and Miller, great pals, close families. I think it's a really good combination.
Grew up together, played youth hockey in the Pittsburgh area. Trocheck, a very important part of the Rangers leadership group. His second point of the game sets up Miller for the Rangers' second power play goal of the night.
But it really was a good veteran-paced power play goal.
Puck out of play. 9:12 remaining. Childhood buddies talking about it. Trocheck sets up Miller. A look at our Tri-State Challenge summary brought to you by BMW. Islanders scored the first 2 goals of the night in the span of 23 seconds. Rangers answered with 3 in 2.5 minutes. And then moments ago, JT Miller with a power play goal makes it 4-2 Rangers.
Well, there's no question. And sometimes you can overcomplicate things, and sometimes you just keep it simple. And JT Miller on the power play. Now watch Zibanejad kind of take a quick peek, and then he gets the puck. And this is basically down low. lay that stick out where the puck can find it, back of the net. It does not get any simpler than that, folks. A wonderful power play goal, good puck movement, 4-2 Rangers.
Now a save by Riddick on Perreault. Battle for the puck along the wall. Miller, Zibanejad, Perreault on the ice with Soucy and Fox. Trocheck, a goal and an assist. Connor Sherry has 2 assists tonight. Noah Laba with yet another assist. His 4th point in 3 preseason games to lead the Rangers. Now Miller works the puck out of the corner. Pouliot racing over. Pouliot fires wide. Now it's Morrow, settles the puck down. Morrow, the Darien, Connecticut native, out to JT Miller. Cross-ice pass, and Zibanejad did not get all of it.
You know, I know he comes billed as a really good offensive player as Trocheck and Zibanejad commiserate on the bench. But back to Morrow, once again, he's got such wonderful poise with the puck. He makes the first play in the offensive zone. It's great to be up 4-2 at the end of September. The veteran guys, and you know, I think Mike Sullivan sent a message after the game, the loss against Boston. And you're going to win, it's how you win. And I think he expects the top players to be top players. Now again, we all know that, you know, the veterans exhibition, don't want to get hurt, but I'm going to tell you, your top guys are doing all the right things, putting the pucks in the right place and competing. I don't care whether it's exhibition. You play the right way.
Rangers had a 4-1 lead on Tuesday, lost in overtime 5-4. Here tonight, allowed the first 2 and have scored the last 4. Laba keeps the puck alive. Moving in from the point is Robertson, dropping it back out to Berard. Cross ice for Borgen. Borgen with a shot. That's blocked in front by Boquist. Sherry in on the forecheck. Islanders able to clear the puck out with 7.5 remaining in the second period. Kenny Albert, Dave Maloney, John Giannone from Madison Square Garden. Thanks for joining us tonight on MSG. These teams will meet again on Monday at UBS Arena. Islanders in action tomorrow, hosting the New Jersey Devils. Trocheck back out, Othman with it. Puck sent along by Soucy. Shots are 23-11 in favor of the Rangers. 8-5 here in the second period. Now Lafreniere controls the puck for Trocheck. Trocheck defended by Boquist. Flips it back around to Adam Fox. Cross ice Soucy. Shot hit his own man. Lafreniere towards the net. Othman finds the puck. Now Fox drops it back off. Shot by Trocheck. That gets blocked. Trocheck with it once again out at the right point. Now Terry plays the puck for the Islanders. Trocheck up the boards and out. Othman handles. Now Fox with it. Rangers go for a change, leading the Islanders 4-2. Rempe back out with Edstrom and Rubrick. Puck picked off at center. Rubrick. Now Edstrom at Rempe. Rempe moves the puck around. Rubrick over to play it for the Rangers. Here's Edstrom. Now Rempe knocked away from him. And the Islanders move the puck to center. As a defenseman, Dave, what would be going through your mind with this forward line on the ice?
Yeah, please. Hope I can get the puck and just get it out. You know, the longer they play in the offensive zone. And the thing that's impressive about Rempe is how long he can go. Like his cardio must have improved immensely. He seems to be able to go for a big man a long time on the ice at a good pace.
We chatted with Mike Sullivan before the game, asked him about Rempe. He said, such a great net front presence, plays with a terrific pace, and he has a willingness to hang on to pucks. Late second period from the Garden. Rangers lead by 2. 100 years of history. The Rangers Centennial Collection is now available for purchase. Grab a jersey, hat, sweatshirt, t-shirt, and more by scanning the QR code or by heading to shop.msg.com/Rangers.
Well, the ice crew does their job. We take a look at, once again, on the Ranger bench. Both ends of the yardstick. Connor Sherry, and again, Mike Sullivan talking about him before the game. Of course, had him in Pittsburgh, two-time Cup winner with Sherry in the roster, and he just couldn't say couldn't say enough good things about the way he plays, the way he competes. And we say he's on a PTO, and I'm interested to see how that plays out.
That's a professional tryout contract. Spent most of last season in the American Hockey League. Two-time Stanley Cup champion, certainly impressing during his first couple of preseason games with the Rangers. Scored a goal in New Jersey Sunday, named the first star, has 2 assists here tonight.
He had 61 points last year in the American League. Top 10, playing for Syracuse.
Palmieri coming in 1-on-2. Now teammates join. Kyle Palmieri maintains control of the puck, shoots, and that's turned aside by Quick. Another shot by Palmieri. Quick with a couple of saves on the veteran Islander. And now Quick will gather it in with 4:07 to go in the second.
Yeah, Matt Robinson just kind of gets outreached on the puck here, and Quick has to make a couple of back-to-back saves. And Palmieri, the veteran, of course, we'll see him in the regular season, but you kind of reach, Borgen reaches, Robertson reaches, and the left foot of Jonathan Quick had to reach, and he kept that puck from crossing the Rangers goal line. Palmieri's been a really good pro. He's been a really good pro. Again, started his career in Anaheim. Been a good player in the NHL, Kyle Palmieri.
Then on to the Devils out of Notre Dame.
All right.
5th season with the Islanders. Here's Isaiah George with a shot. Boquist moving in from the point, hit by Berard. Pageau upended, and an Islanders power play upcoming. Delayed call against the Rangers. Carson Soucy will head to the box for tripping.
Again, Carson Soucy comes over around the end of the season in a trade, gets himself kind of a little foot cemented, right? Like he just kind of gets the stick in the wrong spot, not quite quick enough, and a tripping call on the big defender. The Rangers will go on the penalty kill with a 4-2 lead.
Second power play for the Islanders. They send out Ritchie, Palmieri, Heineman, Holmstrom, and Boquist. More penalty killing time here for Noah Laba.
Yeah, and we've talked about him, and there are lots of reasons to talk about him. Once again in the penalty kill here.
Laba clears the puck the length of the ice. Out with Trocheck. Rangers have scored the last 4 after the Islanders took a 2-0 lead. Here's Boquist. Quick got a piece of it. Trocheck moves the puck down. Remember, Boquist and his brother were teammates on the Florida Panthers last season, but then the Islanders picked up Boquist, and his brother Jesper wound up winning a Stanley Cup.
Right.
Puck sent back around by Heineman. Played by Ritchie. Good stick work there by Morrow. Now Holmstrom keeps it alive. Shot by Heineman. Deflects high out of play.
Again, Heineman was the guy we talked about in the pregame show. He came over in the deal. It was a trade and sign deal. Islanders, Montreal, Noah Dobson, who it'll be interesting how that thing turns out, right? I mean, he was 2 years ago at 70-some-odd points, dropped off substantially a year ago, but boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, Dobson's a pretty good player. Heineman now with the Islanders.
Rangers clear, down to a minute remaining on the Soucy penalty. Under 3 to play, second period. Boquist up the middle for Holmstrom. Heineman Deflects it in deep around Fox. Fox and Morrow, the Rangers defense pairing with Miller and Berard up front. Morrow comes away with the puck. Morrow's father played pro hockey, drafted by Philadelphia. Played in the American Hockey League with Hershey. After he played at the University of New Hampshire during his collegiate days.
Right. The kid from Darien played the Mid-Fairfield program, which has forever been the elite youth program in the state of Connecticut.
You asked him if he grew up a Rangers fan. He said, well, my father was drafted by the Flyers, so we were partial to Philadelphia. Lava, nice pass ahead. Trocheck sets up Lava. Oh, he hits the ice. And the Islanders start back the other way. Penalty has expired. Soucy makes his return. Islanders had one shot on the power play. Terry moves it back out for Pulock. Sent back around by Terry, chased by Robertson and Pajot. They bump shoulder to shoulder. Soucy flips the puck ahead. And now it's Lava once again, surrounded by Islanders. Lava keeps the puck alive.
He really does. He's really strong on the puck. And, you know, that's got good feet, good strong feet. Once again, it's hard to ignore the game that Noah Lava has presented to the Ranger coaching staff. He
was a fourth-round pick by the Rangers in 2022 out of Colorado College, where he spent 3 seasons, played in 11 games with Hartford with the Wolfpack last year. 3 goals, a couple of assists. Rempe cutting for the net. Now Rubrick with it. Pellick for the Islanders. Final minute, second period. Now Rubrick works the puck back. Down into the Islanders zone off the stick of Morrow. No icing. Down to 40 seconds. JT Miller with the only goal here in the second period. It came out of power play. Trocheck, Hoffman, and Berard scored for the Rangers in the first. 2.5 minutes apart. Now Heineman, met by Soucy. Down to 20 seconds. JT Miller comes over. Now Adam Fox. Here's Palmieri looking. Slides it back out. Great defensive play by Gabe Perreault. Finds Zibanejad cutting for the net. And he deflects it off the right shoulder of David Rittich.
That puck was up on end. And that was a nifty little attempt late in the period here. And Perreault, you talk about Perreault's awareness, right? He knows it's the end of the period, and he just flips it across as Vika takes a look at the replay up on the big board. But watch Perreault here. Chips it, knows that Zibanejad's going. Now Zibanejad really can't do anything with it. He tries to get a little nifty flip off the forehand, but a good period from the Rangers. One more look off the noggin off, and the Rangers were pretty good in the second period, Kenny.
Coming up, the Infinity second intermission report. John will chat with Alexis Lafreniere. Some of the thoughts from various Rangers on their captain, JT Miller, and you will hear from our captain in the broadcast booth, Dave Maloney. The Rangers' current captain with a goal on the power play, extending the lead 4-2 through 40 minutes here at the Garden. Welcome back to New York Rangers hockey on MSG Networks, presented by Chase. As we get set for the third period here at the Garden, we head downstairs, check in with John Giannone. John.
Yeah, Kenny, thanks very much. Had an opportunity to speak with assistant coach Joe Sacco, and the guys that he really was focused on tonight, the young guys like Laba and Perreault and Othman, and he said basically what stands out to him about them is the way they skate. He said the energy that they're bringing to the game, he's noticed in particular, they're making it difficult on the opposition, he said, by getting in strong on the forecheck and really being strong with their body positioning in winning 50-50 pucks. I also asked him about the PK because that is his job as the PK coach, and I asked if it's going to be a theme this year of a Mike Sullivan team to try to look for offense while on the PK. He said, look, there's enough talent on our penalty kill where if the opponent gives the opportunity, we're going to try to put them in a position to be concerned about us. He said, remember, those 5 guys on the other team are always going to be thinking offense on the power play, not defense. And if we can catch them in a moment, we're going to try to take advantage. We saw Noah Laba in the second period almost score on a shorthanded situation. Obviously, Gavrikov scored the other night. So those are the thoughts of Joe Sacco, guys.
All right, thanks very much, John. New goaltenders at both ends for the Rangers. Dylan Garand, an American Hockey League All-Star last season, making his second appearance of the preseason. Marcus Hogberg
Now in goal for the Islanders,
replacing David Riddick for the Islanders.
And in goal for the Rangers,
Hogberg played in 15 games for the Isles last season. Dylan Garand allowed 2 goals in 32 minutes in the game against the Devils on Sunday. So the Rangers with a 4-2 lead. Just underway, third period. Carson Soucy with the puck. Wrist shot. Did not get through. Hit off his teammate, J.T. Miller. Pulock for Palmieri. Puck blocked off at the line. Islanders offside.
You know, it's interesting to listen to John's report with Joe Sacco. And I think both situations he described are so indicative of the next generations of players that are coming along. You know, you get these young guys that are quick. They play bigger than their size. They have loaded with skills. And as a consequence, your penalty kill is going to be encouraged to be more aggressive because they can be. I think it's all how quickly this game is evolving from a speed and skill standpoint.
Lafreniere tied up by Boquist. Puck off the skate of Pajot. Islanders now into the Ranger zone. It's McLean into the left of Garand. Jonathan Quick, the Rangers starter tonight, allowed the first 2 goals, and then the Rangers have scored the next 4. Puck is sent up over the Ranger bench, out of play.
Well, again, the first 2 exhibition games down the bench, we take a look at Jonathan Quick, and he will continue to be that kind of savvy character, right? Around, seen it all. He's been a 3-time winner, arguably a first ballot Hall of Famer, for sure the American Hockey Hall of Fame, the big Hall of Fame. And he's just been a really, really good asset and a good presence in the Ranger franchise for the 2 seasons he's been here so far.
Great teammate, has been tremendous with the young players.
Tremendous with Rempe. Took Rempe in last year. Rempe has escaped, though. He and Edstrom are living together.
That's right.
Rumor has it you're contributing to their food bill.
Is that for rubric as well? At least during preseason? That would be some bill.
Oh, man.
Another nice play and shot there by Laba.
Yeah.
Laba back out to the point. Pouliot, puck was deflected by Sherry. And a penalty. Interference.
You know, we heard from Brett Berard, right? And I love the little comment he makes about I'm trying to play big despite my stature, right? So he gets himself in that kind of, you know, dirty area of the ice where you got to go to make things happen and draws a penalty. So he's battling with Mitchell. He'll battle with Mitchell in front here, hold his ground, and then eventually gets shoved over and draws the interference penalty. But I like on the way down, he clips Mitchell a little bit with his stick, though. All right.
Something we might have seen from you back in the day.
Yeah. Draw the penalty and clip the guy with a stick and say, see you. His way to the penalty box. Face off to the left, the Islander netminder.
Rangers perfect, 2 for 2 on the power play tonight.
Once again, it starts with possession off the draw. Trocheck.
Here's Fox for Zibanejad. Back out to Fox. Now Trocheck with it. Looking for Miller. Now Fox once again. Lafreniere works it in deep. Miller tried to get it through to Trocheck. Now Trocheck works it free. Up the board, Zibanejad. Here's Trocheck, who scored the first Ranger goal. Cross ice off the stick of Lafreniere. A.T. Miller scored a power play goal in the second period. A drive by Zibanejad misses the net. Comes to Fox. Kept it in at the line. Now Lafreniere dropping it back for Miller. Now Trocheck shoots, and that gets blocked by the stick of Pelech. Miller shoots. Puck played by Palmieri. Fox is back. Zibanejad hustles back as well. Palmieri from McLean, a shot and a glove save by Garand. 1:04 remaining on the power play for the Rangers as we check in with John.
Yeah, Kenny and Dave, you guys were just talking about Jonathan Quick, and just to put a postscript on that element of Quick, he really cherishes being in this building and being a New York Ranger. Obviously, we know the story growing up. That young boy right there was given a souvenir by Jonathan Quick at the end of the second period. Quick was the last Ranger off the ice because he went over to the boards, one of the doors across from the Zamboni, and just pointed out that young lad who was sitting behind him for the second period and had the Jonathan Quick sweater on. He pointed to him and said, "Give him this stick." And the look on the kid's face, as you would expect, was priceless.
What a gesture.
Great job, John. That's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Power play continues for the Rangers with Quick watching from the bench. Rempe looking to work it free. Sherry, Perreault, Othman, and Morrow on this second power play unit. Connor Sherry looking for Perreault. Deflected off the goaltender, Hogberg. Now Perreault setting it back out for Morrow. To the far side, shot misses the net. Puck out of the zone with 20 seconds remaining on the man advantage for the Rangers. Here comes Othman, who has a goal tonight. Perreault looking for the give and go. And the Islanders clear. It deflects out of play.
You're really good to see Othman score. You know, again, the New York Post Larry Brooks had a really good article on Hoffman and trying to just keep everything real, keep everything in perspective, right? Now he's a first-round pick, and he knows he's hard on himself. He knows, and I think he's one of the real guys that's glad he's got a fresh start with a new coaching staff. And it's really good to see him get on the scoreboard here tonight.
Right, he's talked about the fact that he's been a bit snake bit in the regular season. No goals in 25 NHL games. Has one here tonight in the preseason. He's played in all 3 games.
And I like, you know, again, I like the fact that he's seen a head doctor, right? And like just to keep things clear as the puck bounces and squibs its way to the Islander net.
Or a mental skills coach, as they're known these days.
Yeah. But either way, the league has progressed as society has progressed. And the fact that there are many tools out there to give one the opportunity to figure things out. And, you know, it's just really, I'm rooting for the guys, the bottom line, Brendan Hoffman.
Islanders back at full strength. They kill off the Rangers' power play as the puck rolls in on Garand. Now Berard settles it down. Here's Sherry crisscrossing with Laba. Mitchell back on the puck for the Islanders. Gives it away to Berard. And now Ritchie back the other way. 2-on-2 with Palmieri. Drops it off for the trailer. Puck carried in deep by Heineman. Heineman works it back out to the point. And now a shot block. Mitchell unable to get it through. Robertson in good position for the Rangers. Mitchell with the puck for the Islanders deep in his own zone. 26-16 are the shots in favor of the Rangers. They have a 4-2 lead. Goals from Trocheck, Othman, Berard, and Miller. Puck deflects into the Rangers bench. Well, the Centennial season is here. Get to the Garden to see the Rangers in action. Scan the QR code or visit NewYorkrangers.com/TIX to secure your tickets to be a part of this historic season. There will be 8 very special theme nights The great Sam Rosen will be on hand as the master of ceremonies.
Yeah, I think glove. I think there's a puck movement off a glove here in the face-off as the officials looks like they're going to whistle the Islanders. Again, Berg is going to go to the box. This is his second penalty. Usually you see this call made.
Penalty number 55. 2 minutes delay of game face-off violation.
Face-off violation, so a delay of game penalty assessed.
And again, this is a little bit of an odd one because it comes up. There you go. No.
Yep,
Right
can't do that.
Right, you can't. As the Beatles would say, you can't do that. There, Islanders will go on the power play. I'm sorry, on the penalty kills, the Rangers go on the power play. Once again, possession off the draw, right? If you can get possession off the draw, half the battle is won.
Rangers' second consecutive power play. They are 2 for 3 tonight. JT Miller and Pajot battling for the puck. Now Pajot with it for the Islanders, skates it out with McLean. Glove by Garand. And the Islanders force an offensive zone faceoff while down a man, just over 5 minutes gone. Here in period 3, Dylan Garand, 4th-round pick by the Rangers in 2020. He spent the last 3 seasons with the Hartford Wolfpack, an all-star last year in the American Hockey League.
Yeah, really, again, took that next stride. And it's difficult for a goaltender, right? There's limited positions, and that's so the numbers don't favor your chances of advancing, and particularly when you get to a franchise today, has Shesterkin and Quick. And Quick's been so important for the club on and off the ice.
Louis Domingue, who has been Garand's partner in Hartford for the last several seasons, has headed overseas. He's playing in the KHL.
For sure.
Islanders with some fresh skaters on the ice. Here's Lafreniere for JT Miller. The return for Alexis Lafreniere. Deflected off George. Miller tried to poke it back. Puck out of the zone, and then Fox moves it back down. Long outlet pass. Palmieri looks to gain a step on Morrow. Short-handed opportunity for the Islanders. Now George with it. Here's Morrow. Morrow pressured along the wall. 35 seconds remaining on this Rangers power play. Connor Sherry. Islanders again clear, with the Rangers leading 4-2. Scott Morrow back up ice. Here's Sherry, who has 2 assists. Rempe keeps the puck alive. Held it at the line. Penalty time winding down. Morrow with it. Back out onto the stick of Morrow. And now Perreault with a shot. Penalty expires. Berg out of the box. And now it's Berg who plays the puck. Borgen back along with Robertson. Berg stopped by Garand. It goes in. Garand got a piece of it. It got behind him. Berg just out of the penalty box. And he scores 9 seconds later.
Now again, Borgen gets caught a little flat-footed, but he still is in good position to keep the play to the outside. And this is going to roll up the right arm of Garand, the goaltender. It just kind of handcuffs him, but it's one of those things where Borgen had just gotten onto the ice. He's got a flat-footed start, and here it goes, creeping up. Uh-oh. 4-3 hockey game. No, that's the third goal, the third Islander goal. That you talk about a hockey goal. Well, you know what? Throw it to the net. 4-3.
Cameron Berg, 23 years of age, grew up in North Dakota, began his collegiate career at Nebraska Omaha for a couple of years, then transferred to the University of North Dakota, finished up there. His first of the preseason. Islanders have pulled to within 1 just after they killed off the penalty. Berg out of the box. 9 seconds. Goal. Good work by Berard along the boards. Rangers keep the puck alive. Here's Berard with it once again. Berard in with a shot. Puck winds around. Borgen with it in the neutral zone. Across to Robertson. Just over 12 minutes remaining. Third period from the Garden as both teams make changes. Rangers lead has been cut to 1. They had scored the last 4. Here's Mitchell. Now Holmstrom. Sends the puck around. Fox over for the Rangers. Now Carson Soucy with it. Perreault for Miller. Rangers break out. Gabe Perreault into the Islander zone. Now Pelech over for the Islanders. Puck played by Soucy. Now Fox. 11.5 remaining. Fox up the middle. Zibanejad. JT Miller in behind the net. Mika Zibanejad. Trying to get it through to Miller. Highmore moves the puck into the corner. And now Soucy back the other way for Zibanejad. Shots 27-19 Rangers. They have a 4-3 lead. Lafreniere sends the puck along. Rangers go for a change. Pulock back for the Islanders. Now Jeffries had it taken away by Offman. Isaiah George up the middle for Jeffries. Duran will settle the puck down for Derek Pouliot. Rangers with 3 goals in the first period. Trocheck, Offman, and Berard. 2 minutes, 31 seconds apart. JT Miller on the power play in the second. Now Berg has cut the Rangers lead to 1. Jeffries picks up his second assist of the night. And now a Ranger penalty. Sean Day took a stick up high, and the Islanders, trailing by a goal, will have the man advantage.
I think it's going to be Connor Sherry here. Just on a follow through here, he clips the original Ranger draft pick, Sean Day, and it is Lava. He'll head for the box. So when we come back, the Islanders will be on the power play.
Tonight's Tri-State Challenge is brought to you by BMW. Noah Lava in the penalty box got the stick up on Sean Day, who was a 3rd-round pick by the Rangers in 2016. So the Islanders heading to the power play.
Yeah, a little bit of a reach-around attempt to find the stick of Sean Day. Sean Day last season spent the season in the Swedish League. Again, came in, he was touted as a junior, a young junior, as being in the class of, John Tavares, allowed to play junior hockey in Canada young. In the meantime, away we go here.
Right, it's called exceptional status.
Right.
Tavares, Aaron Ekblad, and Connor McDavid, and Sean Day. They were the first 4 to be granted that special status at a young age in junior hockey.
This is great Don Imus used to say, what doesn't belong and why? Right?
Day has played 2 NHL games in the regular season with Tampa Bay. He drew the penalty. Don Imus, the late great morning host on the radio in New York. For those younger viewers,
yeah, exactly.
Might not be aware, Dave made a Beatles reference earlier. And now Don Imus.
That's right. Who you got in the booth? Fred Flintstone or somebody?
What's next? George Washington? Minute 10 remaining on this power play for the Islanders. Heineman back in his own zone. Trocheck, good job on the forecheck. Heineman hits the ice. Now Boquist. Puck carried across by Terry. Islanders step things up on their 3rd power play. They're 0 for 2. Flipped by Jeffries down low. Pajot tried to get it out in front. The long stick of Edstrom intercepts, and he clears.
Adam Edstrom, we talked about his injury last February. I talked to him today. He has no fallout from that. Feels great.
He was injured in Boston on February 1st. That was JT Miller's first game after coming over from Vancouver the previous night. Now Pulock for the Islanders. Penalty time winding down. Nice move, and then puck sent wide by Highmore. Rangers able to clear as Lava gets set to return. So the Rangers kill it off. Islanders 0 for 3. And we are down to 8:20 on the clock here in the third. Kenny Albert, Dave Maloney, John Giannone from Madison Square Garden. Rangers leading the Islanders 4-3. JT Miller with speed. Miller cross ice. Connor Sherry moves it in behind the net. Gabe Perreault off the side of the cage. And the puck is flipped out by Matt Maggio. And now a save by Garand on Vereniev, who has a goal tonight.
Yeah, Will Borgen took exception to Islanders crashing the net, and we've got a little bit of a wrestling match going on in front of the Ranger net as a result. But nothing.
Little extracurricular activity with the Rangers leading by 1.
Well, Borgen's going to get himself involved in a couple of plays here, starting in the neutral zone, right? You get down to the last tags of a game. A little cross check there, a little knock over there. Now Veremyev comes in. Veremyev's eventually going to take a bite out of JT Miller's stick, and Borgen's back involved. And oh boy, a little bit of old-time hockey. With JT Miller again, that's Maggio, JT, and Borgen comes in. So 1 for all and all for one, when the Rangers get involved physically in front of their netminder here with 7 and change left in the third period.
I know you really liked what you saw from Borgen last season.
Yeah, you know, he's mobile and he's safe. He's just again, and the Rangers extended as we get an offside here. I like Borgen, and Vaakanainen came in. You know, I kind of like his game too. Boy, Gavrikov looks like he might be the real deal as far as one game into as Borgen looks on. Another nice kid, you know, and he plays with a little bit of an edge.
Gavrikov, one of the best Rangers on the ice on Tuesday.
Yeah, no question.
Picked up one of the 3 stars. Puck deflects out of play. You know, we've been talking about the Centennial 100th anniversary season. It was on this date in 1926, September 25th, when the Rangers were officially admitted into the NHL. During league meetings in Montreal. They had been granted a franchise in May of that year, but they were officially admitted into the NHL 99 years ago today.
Wow.
And they would play their first game on November 16th against the Montreal Maroons, a 1-0 win. Bill Cook with the goal, assisted by his brother Bun. You have Bill's poster on your wall as a youngster?
I was just going to say you still got it.
Was it Bill or Bun? Or Frank Boucher? Which one?
Yeah.
Now Soucy plays the puck for the Rangers. Just over 7 to go. With the Rangers leading 4-3. Here's Palmieri. Now George. Islanders in across the line. Palmieri with a shot. That gets blocked, and then a second chance. Robertson made the block on the first Palmieri attempt. Puck sent back along by Edstrom. Rempe in pursuit, along with Boqvist. Rempe hits the ice. Puck kept in the zone momentarily by Othman, then he had it knocked away by Palmieri. Morrow back to play it for the Rangers, and he loses an edge. Pressured by Pajot. Puck flipped down by Pouliot. Now Pelech up the boards and out. Morrow sends it back along.
Rubrick.
Here's Pajot into the Ranger zone, cutting wide. Pajot with a shot off the side of the cage and out of play.
We talked about Kyle Palmieri early in the hockey game and midway through, and he's just been a great pro in Anaheim, the Devils. This is a puck, strong move, shot there, follows through off the crossbar, Kyle Palmieri, and you get one more look here. They've gone off the foot of Robertson and then to the net, and then the second attempt. So you make your move to the net, take the shot, follow the puck, get another opportunity. Face off to the left to the Ranger netminder.
Down to 6 minutes remaining. Shots are 27-21. Favor of the Rangers. They have a 4-3 lead. Islanders with the only goal here in the third period. Susie up the right side. Sherry deflects it in deep. Now Bullock for the Islanders. Jeffries, who has a couple of points tonight. He's hit down to the ice by Sherry. Now Berard backhands in. George looking around. Boquist over to play the puck. Boquist up the boards and down. Borgen gathers it in. Now Gabe Perreault. Pass picked off by George. McLean into the left of Garand. Borgen back on it. Now McLean intercepts, shoots. Blocked aside by Garand. Good play by Perreault to keep it away from Boquist there.
What's been telling Kenny as this game has gone on is the absence of east-west plays by the Rangers in the offensive zone.
Now Holmstrom with the puck for the Islanders, setting it back out for a shot by Mitchell, and that's gloved by Garand. Latter stages, third period. Rangers by a goal. These teams will meet again on Monday night. Rangers and Islanders at UBS Arena on MSG. Starting at 7, watch on MSG or stream on the Gotham Sports app. Brendan Burke and Thomas Hickey will be on the call Monday night. Rangers and Islanders. And congratulations to our longtime colleague in the Rangers radio booth, Don LaGreca, now the television voice of the New Jersey Devils on MSG.
Now he can fully admit that he grew up a Devils fan. He used to have to hide that fact.
And he has admitted it on the first 2 telecasts.
Yeah. Anyway, just a tremendous good luck to Donnie, and just one of the real good guys. And you know, Kenny Danico's Kenny Danico. So it's and really Thomas Hickey and Brett Brook scoring still involved. A little different role.
Cal Clutterbuck as well.
Right. Well,
puck in front, they score! It's the second of the night for Varemyev, and the Islanders tie the game at 4.
You know, it's interesting. The Rangers, both first exhibition games, they've been very vulnerable late. And Varemyev, we talk about defensive zone positioning. Varemyev's a little bigger body. He just fights for battle, fights for position, and is going to eventually get on his forehand and gets behind the Ranger defenseman Adam Fox. And once again, the Rangers, in back-to-back nights here at the Garden, have found themselves vulnerable in the third period. This is just, again, the Islanders just worked a little harder, a little better positioning. They're tied at 4.
For a kid who grew up in New Jersey, what a dream. Coming to Madison Square Garden, your second preseason game, score a couple of goals.
Wow.
22 years of age. We mentioned he's been a teammate, line mate of Noah Laba for the last 5 seasons in junior hockey and in college. And he has scored twice for the Islanders tonight, native of Monroe Township, New Jersey. So the Rangers allowed 3 goals in the third period, outscored 3-0 by Boston on Tuesday, and the Islanders with a couple of third period goals here tonight.
Yeah, again, they finished the opening game on a 5-on-3 power play situation. The Devils were able to score, so.
There's Palmieri, backhand shot, score! Palmieri beats Garand, and the Islanders now lead 5-4.
Well, this is the one, again, we talked about Palmieri probably being the most effective Islander forward, but the goalie's got to make the stop. Very simply put. This is off the backhand. Palmieri enters the offensive zone with authority, and this is just a soft backhanding. You watch the reaction of the Ranger netminder, and I think that tells you everything. He's going to look up and go, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 5-4 Islanders.
Goals 52 seconds apart. Scored by Varemyev and Palmieri. Islanders with 3 goals in just over 9 minutes. So the Islanders scored the first 2, Rangers the next 4, and now the Islanders the next 3. Rangers find themselves trailing for the first time since the first period, with 3:15 to go.
The second of the preseason scored with number 21, Kyle Palmieri. The assist number 3, Adam Pellick, time of goal 16-14. Palmieri.
Second goal of the preseason for Palmieri. He scored in the Islanders opener against Philadelphia. Icing call against the Rangers. 2:59 on the clock.
Yeah, it gets back to ultimately the goaltender needs to make the save. There's no question. But Palmieri was allowed a pretty easy entry into the defensive zone. As we take a look at Dylan Garant, who, again, we're not observing something that he wouldn't offer up himself. But in the meantime, when you really do look at it, Palmieri had a pretty easy entry into the offensive zone.
Well, Sherry moves the puck along. When we spoke with Mike Sullivan earlier, asked him about the game on Tuesday, he was very pleased with the first 2 periods. Obviously, different story in the third. And kind of a similar situation here tonight.
Yeah.
Rangers have a 4-2 lead after 2. Shot by Robertson, misses the net. Terry over for the Islanders.
And again, there were reasons. This hockey game, 40 minutes of Rangers hockey was pretty good. And all of a sudden now one kind of creeps through, and the 2-goal lead is a 1-goal lead.
There goes Garand off to the Rangers bench. Rangers send out the extra attacker. JT Miller with the puck out to Zibanejad. Shot was blocked. Palmieri with it. Ahead for Ritchie, looking for the empty net, and it was blocked off by Adam Fox. Lafreniere with 2 minutes remaining. Here comes Fox. Now Lafreniere. 6 skaters on the ice for the Rangers. Wires the puck around. Palmieri kicks it back. George. Now 2 Islanders, 2 Rangers. Islanders clear all the way down. And this will be an icing with 1:38.
Well, again, on the night now, the Rangers are 61, almost 61 proficient off the faceoff. So, 1:38 left. There's going to be a timeout called here by the Rangers as the Rangers will now meet around with the whiteboard, and David Quinn will draw up a play. And we've talked about the importance of faceoffs in special teams. Well, this is basically a special team situation also. So
Islanders have outshot the Rangers 10-3. They're in the third period. They've outscored the Rangers 3-0. And now the Rangers will look to tie it.
yeah, and you can say, okay, the quality of the goals that were scored against them, it doesn't matter. You've been outshot 10-3 in the third. And you've been outscored 2-0. 3-0. So now again, Trocheck will take the face off, and you've got really Perreault is the only neophyte, young guy on the ice. So some pretty good experience here from a Rangers standpoint, but it's all going to start with possession.
Perreault with Lafreniere, Trocheck, Miller, Zibanejad, and Fox. Ranger net is empty. 1:38 remaining. Trocheck and Palmieri on the draw. Rangers control. Here's Fox. Rangers setting things up down a goal. Fox straight away. Watched by Palmieri. Fox back out to Zibanejad. 1:25. Here's Fox. Now Trocheck plays the puck. Zibanejad kept it away from Palmieri. Trocheck with it. Zibanejad. Fox. 1:10 remaining. Fox shoots. Sticked aside by Hogberg. And the Islanders can't clear. Held in at the line by Fox. Around behind the net. Trocheck bottled up by George. Zibanejad over to play the puck. Final minute of regulation. Now Lafreniere back out to Zibanejad. Cross ice pass Trocheck. JT Miller has a goal tonight.
Wow.
Great play to keep it in. Lafreniere on the return from Fox. Shoots and a save made by Hogberg. Down to 40 seconds. Here's Fox with it again across. JT Miller over for the Rangers. Back to Lafreniere. Now Fox. Zibanejad. 30 seconds. Lafreniere to the puck. Lafreniere out to Fox straight away. Fox down low. Battle for the puck along the boards. 20 seconds to go. And it's cleared down ice by Heineman. Islanders ice it with 14 2/10 seconds remaining.
Well, certainly good possession. Good possession, but really nothing to the net. Not a clear opportunity, so you have to acknowledge. See, here's a situation, an observation. When you don't have that bomb from the point, there's no real threat of scaring anybody from a big shot from the point, like a Brett Burns or
Al McInnes back in the
Right,
game.
McInnes.
Here's Fox, time winding down. Rangers trail by a goal. Fox fires, that's blocked. Islanders clear, wide of the empty net. And that will do it. Big block by Boquist on that final shot attempt. And for the second straight preseason game, the Rangers allow 3 third-period goals. And they lose to the Islanders tonight, 5-4.
Well, I think you could clearly make the case, and we referenced it, that the Rangers have, of the last 120 minutes of hockey, have played really good for 80. That's not been enough. So you take it, you book it, you bank it, and you move forward. But again, pretty veteran lineup, and I thought the veterans competed. There's no question. So you move on, next exhibition game, and go from there.
Gleb Vorobyev, the New Jersey native, 2 goals for the Islanders tonight. Palmieri with the game winner. Islanders 5, Rangers 4. They'll do it again Monday. Brendan Burke, Thomas Hickey on the call on MSG from UBS Arena or stream on the Gotham Sports app. For Dave Filoni, John Giannone, and our entire crew, I'm Kenny Albert. Good night from Madison Square Garden.